Good afternoon, everyone. Is the voice is audible to you? ఎవరైనా చెప్పండి అమ్మా వాయిస్ ఆడిబుల్లా కాదు చెప్పండి. Manikanta, are you getting my voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your internet connection is slow. Okay, and no one is not there in the class. If anyone is there in the class, I am in the class, so that it can come. Okay. Some people are there in morning, but now no one is not there. Okay, last class, what is the topic that I said? Can anyone? Last class, a topic చెప్పండమ్మా. Roll number 33, 34, 37, 28, 29. What is the last topic that I said? Is addressing modes, is it completed? Roll number Nalini, Vamshi. Roll number 40, Surya, Nikit. Roll number 6, roll number 25. What is the last class topic that I said? Last class మీకు ఏ టాపిక్ చెప్పానమ్మా? Can anyone? Roll number 43, 48, 49, 50, 51. Anyone?
49%.
Okay. Last class, what is the topic that I said? Is this one is completed? I think I explained in the last class. Is it correct? This one I explained. Is it correct or not? Okay. Last class I explained this. So last class, this is the topic that I explained, addressing modes. So can anyone what is addressing modes? And addressing modes means a different. So addressing modes is nothing but you can access the data in different methods. Okay, those are direct address, immediate operand, indirect address, relative address, index address, register indirect, then auto increment, auto decrement. Okay, and here this is nothing but memory where we are stored the few instructions, and you also store the data, and you already also store the effective address and some of the registers which contain some content, which has some content, PC, R1, XR, AC. Okay, and direct address is nothing but in the instruction 200 and 201 is your instruction. So 201 you have the address. So what is the address they given? 500. That is the effective address. So that effective address, whatever is there, that is nothing but I am transferring to accumulator because load to accumulator. So accumulator contains what is the value? 800. Immediate operand. Immediate operand is nothing but this after mode. This is called as this address is 500 is called as the operand. Okay. So that 500 will be transferred to immediate. And indirect addressing. Indirect addressing is nothing but when mode bit is 1, 500 contains the effective address. The effective address is 800. So 800 whatever is there that I have to transfer to accumulator 300. Then relative address. Relative address is nothing but program counter contains the 202 instruction plus 500. What is the address present in the instruction? 702. This is the effective address. Whatever content is there, that I have transferred to accumulator. And index addressing mode. Index addressing mode is nothing but XR plus 500. XR is 100, 500, 600. 600, what is the content? 900. That I will transfer to accumulator. Then register addressing mode. Register addressing mode is nothing but R1. Whatever is there that you have to transfer. Okay. R1 is 400. So in 400, what is that? 700. That will be transferred to, so register. R1, whatever value is there, that will be transferred to accumulator. R1 contains 400. That 400 will be transferred to accumulator. Register indirect ante, this 400 represents the effective address. So 400, whatever content is there, that will be transferred to accumulator. So accumulator 700. Auto increment. Auto increment is nothing but R1 plus. See here, what is R1 here? 400. Now in 400, whatever is there, that you have to transfer to. So in 400 memory location, what is there? 400. So 700 is how to transfer to accumulator. Then auto decrement 399. So 399, what is the content? 450 that I transfer to accumulator. So last class I already said this. Okay. Now there are three types of instructions are there. Okay. So those instructions are data transfer instructions, then data manipulation instructions, then last case program control instructions. So there are three types of instructions which are, so data transfer instructions, first one. Then data transfer ante name lo name undama. We are just transferring the data from one location to another location. Okay. Whereas data manipulation means we are modifying the data by doing some micro operation. It may be arithmetic or logical or shift. Then you will manipulate the data. Okay. That is nothing but data manipulation. Okay. Data manipulation instructions. Then shift instructions. You already know shift instructions, the program control instructions are nothing but. So while executing the program, once you got the interrupt, you have to go for program 2. So those are called as the program control instructions. Is it okay? Is the voice is clear? Everyone okal cheppandamma. Voice clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now three types of instructions are there: data transfer instructions, data manipulation instructions, then program control instructions. First one is data transfer instructions. Data transfer instructions ante we are not modifying the data, we are just transferring data from one location to other location. That is data transfer. Data manipulation ante you are modifying the data, then you are transferring from one location to other location. Okay. Now first one we will see data transfer instructions. Can anyone, what are the instructions which are present here? So all these instructions are, so load. So load is nothing but we are loading with accumulator. Last example only I seen load to accumulator. Okay, that is, so load to accumulator with the different addressing modes. And store. Store is nothing but whatever is there in some register will store in memory location like that. Then move. Okay. Move is nothing but from one register to other register like that. Then exchange. Exchange ante suppose A and B are there. A has some value, B has some value. Now assume that A has 3, B has 4. Now exchange A and B. Can anyone, what is the A value now? A will get 4, B value get 3. Okay. Then next one is input. Input is also nothing but we are taking the, you already know this, we are taking the data input, peripheral devices. Those are input devices. And output devices, ouch. Then push, pop. All these are only data transfer instructions. We will not modifying anything in the data. And example, so that load is nothing but, now load with some register, okay? When you load, so we can perform this load operation in different addressing modes, okay? So I'm showing here, direct address అయితే LD address. Meaning ఏంటమ్మా LD address అంటే మీకు ఆల్రెడీ తెలుసు. So in that address, whatever content is there, that you have to transfer to accumulator. Indirect address. Indirect address and the meaning ఏంటమ్మా? So in address, it contains address of the address. Okay. So initially you have an address. In that address you have effective address. From that effective address you have to transfer to accumulator. Okay. Then relative address. I already said no, relative address is nothing but you have to add PC plus address. Okay. In that memory location, whatever content is there, you have to transfer to accumulator. So you already seen accumulator, చూడండి, relative address PC plus 500. So PC is nothing but 202 plus 500. So in that whatever content is there, that you have to transfer to accumulator. Then next one, immediate operand. Immediate operand ante enti? So whatever in the instruction is there, that is operand, that will be transferred directly to accumulator. Then index addressing mode. So XR plus ADR. So So in that location, whatever content is there, that you have transferred to accumulator. Then register directly from register to accumulator. Register indirect content. In the register content, register is called as the effective address. In that address, you have the operand. So you have to transfer that operand to AC. Then auto increment. I already said no. What is auto increment? Same as register indirect. But once execution is completed, you have to increment R1 by 1. Okay. Auto decrement. Here first you have to decrement. So decrement, then in that memory location, whatever content is there, that you have to transfer to AC. So these are data transfer instructions. So in exam, I will ask one question. In the following, which instructions are data transfer? Okay, I will give load, store, move, exchange, input, output, push and pop. And then you have to identify the correct answer. Okay. So remember one point, data transfer means you are not modifying the data. Same data you are transferring from one location to another location. Then next case, data manipulation instructions. మీకు ఏం చెప్పానమ్మా ఇప్పుడే డేటా మ్యానిపులేషన్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ మీన్స్ ద డేటా ఈజ్ మోడిఫైడ్ విత్ ద హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ సమ్ మైక్రో ఆపరేషన్స్. ఇట్ మే బి అర్థమెటిక్ ఆర్ లాజికల్ ఆర్ షిఫ్ట్ మైక్రో ఆపరేషన్స్. ఓకే. Now what are those? Arithmetic means addition, subtraction, increment, decrement, all those are. Logical and with manipulation and complement, accumulator, end operation or micro operation XR. Are they shift aithe? Shift right to shift left, rotate right to rotate left, okay, rotate right to carry, all those. Now what are the data manipulation? In detail I written all the instructions. Arithmetic lo చూడండి ఏమేమి వచ్చాయో. Increment, decrement, add, subtract, multiply, divide, add with carry, subtract with borrow, and to complement. Similarly, logical and bit manipulation. Logical ante and or complement. Bit manipulation ante, so bit manipulation is nothing but enable interrupt, disable interrupt, set carry, clear carry, and logical ante exclusive or clear, complement, all those are. Then shift instructions. So మీకు ఆల్రెడీ తెలుసు షిఫ్ట్ రైట్, షిఫ్ట్ లెఫ్ట్, అర్థమెటిక్ షిఫ్ట్ రైట్, అర్థమెటిక్ షిఫ్ట్ లెఫ్ట్, రొటేట్ రైట్, రొటేట్ లెఫ్ట్, rotate right through carry, rotate left through carry, all this. So by using all these three types of instructions, we will modify the data. Okay. Then next one, next classification is program control instructions. Is all of it clear? Or you understand what are data manipulation instructions? అర్థమైందమ్మా అందరికీ? What are data manipulation instructions? You understand now? We are modifying the data with the help of arithmetic, logical, and shift. Then program control instructions. Program control instructions ante em ledamma. See, we are executing program 1, your main program. While executing the program 1, you got an interrupt. After getting the interrupt, you will stop this program, and whatever instruction that you have to execute next instruction, that next instruction address I have to store in the stack. Then once then you have to go to program 2. In program 2 you have to execute that program. Then once it is completed, return back to the main program by taking the address from the stack. And once again you execute the main program or program 1. I already said this point many times. Are you understand what I said? So the program control instructions are branch, jump, skip, call, return, then compare, test. All these are called as the program control instructions. Okay. Compare is nothing but we are doing the subtraction operation, whereas test is nothing but I am doing the end operation. Okay. Then one small circuit is there, that is nothing but status flag circuit, and that will be useful when any one of this when some flag is set, it will be useful. Okay. Suppose you are getting the result as 0. So when you perform some micro operation in ALU, the final result is 0. If the final result is 0 means, that means your answer contains all zeros. Then I will set the 0 flag. 0 flag 1 means what is the meaning of that? When zero flag equal to 1, the meaning is nothing but the result is 0. Is it okay? Then similarly sign bit. Sign bit is nothing but when you performing some operation for MSB, if you get any carry, if for an MSB, if you get any carry, then the sign bit will become 1. You already know sign bit. So what is the sign bit is nothing but the MSB bit is called as the sign bit. When you are performing addition or subtraction, so the sign bit is always MSB bit. Okay. So whenever you are getting carry, then it is nothing but the sign bit is 1. Or you understand? When the MSB bit is 1, then automatically the sign bit will be 1. Okay. And one more important point, then carry flag. When carry flag is set, anyone, the circuit is nothing but status flag circuit where you have 8-bit ALU with some of the flag conditions. Okay. Using one XOR gate. Now carry, when you will get the carry? So you will get the carry when you add two numbers and from the final MSB, if you are getting a C out. So if you, while performing the addition, you are getting an extra carry from the MSB. From MSB, if you get any carry. From MSB, if you get any carry, then it is nothing but called as C out, carry out, and your carry flag will become 1. So C8. Now assume that it is nothing but 8-bit data. F0, F7 ante ఏంటమ్మా? It is nothing but 8-bit data, so it is present from 0 to 7. So on A and B, you are doing some operation. So if you get the carry C8, C8 ante from MSB to outside, we'll get one carry C8. If you get C8, then the carry will become 1. If the result all bits are zeros, then you can say that zero flag is 1. If the MSB bit is 1, after performing the operation, if the MSB bit, until 7th bit is 1 means sign bit will be 1. Okay. Then last one overflow bit. Then overflow bit will become 1. So the overflow bit becomes 1 when assume that MSB, so it is nothing but 8 bits. Okay. When it is 8 bits, when it is 8 bits, so MSB will get carry from MSB to outside also sometimes you will get carry. So carry will get sometimes and carry will not get sometimes. Okay. I will show one small example. Okay. So that you will understand. So two 8-bit numbers, 8-bit, 8 bits. So 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Now here, anyone, what is the carry here? The carry is, suppose if I take the 1. So what is the 1, 0 means what is the value? 1. Then 1, 1, 1, 1 and 0. Carry outside is 1. So we are getting one carry outside. So here 1, 0 means what is the carry from here to here? From here to here, what is the carry? So here to here, the carry is 0. Okay. Whereas here, the carry that I am getting is 1. Here the carry is 0 and here the carry is 1. So now C7 bit anta cheppandi ikkada? The C7 bit is 0, whereas C8 bit is 1. So C7 bit is 0, C8 is 1, 0 XOR 1, 1. So overflow is 1. So there is a overflow. Okay, like that. The next one is nothing but conditional branch instructions. All these are very simple instructions. You try to just remember that branch if 0. Meaning enti cheppandamma? Suppose this is one instruction and while executing the program we will get bz. bz అంటే అప్పుడు ఏం చెక్ చేయాలి? z చెక్ చేయాలి. flag you have to set. z flag you have to set. When z equal to 1, what you have to do? We have to go for program 2. So all these are conditional branches. Okay. If these are satisfied, we will go to some other program. Branch if 0. And when z is 1, we will go to program 2. And branch bz, branch if not 0. That means if z equal to 0, branch if not 0. Okay, z is 0. Okay, when z is 0, that means we have to branch on carry. So that means when carry is 1, we have to branch no carry. That means when carry is not 0, we will go to program 2. Branch if plus ante ఏంటమ్మా, sign bit has to be 0. So when s is 0, we will go do addition. Branch minus. When s equal to 1, we have to branch on overflow is 1. Branch no overflow, v is 0. Okay. Then next one is nothing but unsigned bits. Okay. And these are unsigned numbers. Okay. So unsigned numbers is nothing but now compare the conditions which are nothing but a minus b. Okay. Now, so what are the operations that we will do? First one is BHI. BHI అంటే ఏంటమ్మా, branch if higher. BHI is branch if higher. That means if a greater than b, then you have to branch it. BHI, branch if higher and equal. అంటే a greater than equal to b. Branch lower అంటే b. Branch equal. A less than or equal to b. B, even a equal to b. And b and e. If branch not equal, when a is not equal to b, we will go for program 2. Are you understand what I am saying? All these instructions are, you have to verify the condition. If the condition is verified, then you have to do. All these are unsigned numbers. Unsigned numbers means only past numbers. Now similarly signed bits. Whenever it is a signed one, here also you have to compare the conditions. So what are the conditions? BGT. If A is greater than B, then I have to go for program 2. BGE. If A greater than or equal to B, go to program 2. BLT, branch if less than. BLE, branch if less than or equal to. A less than or equal to B. BE, branch if equal. BNE, branch if not equal. That means A not equal to B, then we will go for program 2. Is it okay? Are you understand what I said? All these are the conditional branch instructions. Now in exam I will ask that BZ, by using BZ, when we will go to branch instruction, when we will go to program 2 by using BZ instruction. So I will give options: equal to 1, z equal to 0, carry equal to 1, sign bit equal to 0. So then what you have to write? BZ ante 0 bit has to be 1. So when in BZ instruction, if z equal to 1, then only I will go for program 2. Okay. Like this, you try to go through that, and if you have any doubt, you can ask. Okay. Then subroutine. So sub call and return. Okay. So subroutine is nothing but a small program which is present in the memory while executing the main program. And once again, we will go to the subroutine by using call or jump or branch. Then once again, we'll take the address from the stack, and once again, we'll return back to the main program. So I already said, what are those? Call subroutine, then jump to subroutine. While doing the call subroutine, always we have to store when you are going to program 1 to program 2, program 1, where you have to execute that instruction address, you have to store in the stack. Okay. Then once again, program 2 is completed, we have to return back to the program 1 by taking the address from the stack. And the next one is jump to subroutine. Jump to subroutine ante just it will go to the program 2. Okay. Then branch to subroutine. Okay. This is also same. Then branch and save return address. Okay. This is nothing but branch and save return. We are going to program 2. While going to the program 2, the present program instruction that you have to execute later, that address has to be stored in the stack or some registers. Then next one is two most important operations are implemented, which are nothing but branch to the beginning of the subroutine. then same as the branch or conditional branch. Then save the return address to get the address of the location in the calling program upon exit the subroutine. That's what I said. No, when you are going from program 1 to program 2, program 1, where you have to execute what the next instruction that you have to execute, you have to store and you have to go for subroutine, complete the subroutine, then once again come to main program by taking the return address. Okay, and locations for storing the return address. So what are the locations? I already said. This one I said. This is the most efficient way, that is called as the stack, or you can store in the processor register or fixed location in the memory. Okay, or fixed location in the subroutine. Then next one is nothing but program interrupt. So program interrupt is nothing but, I said no, some of the interrupts you will get while you are executing the programs. Those interrupts may be, it may be internal interrupts or external interrupts. Okay. And can you see here, program interrupts, what it may be external or internal interrupts, sometimes software interrupts. Okay. So external interrupts, the external interrupts are initiated from outside the CPU and memory. Okay. So what are the external inputs? So whenever input device want to transfer the data, so that is input output device will give the interrupt. Okay. So it may be data transfer. So it will send the data or data transfer complete. Okay. This one I already explained, input output devices. Okay. So input output devices, and some cases it will ask for the data transfer request, and sometimes it will ask the data transfer complete. And timing device, if it is any power failure, all those are comes under external interrupts. Okay. Then what are the internal interrupts? Internal interrupts means some of the, these are nothing but when there is a overflow in the stack. Okay. Otherwise, if you divide, when you divide a number by 0, otherwise any opcode violation, and opcode violation is noted some wrong opcodes like that. Okay. Then protection violation, then software interrupts, and here external and internal interrupts both are generated by the hardware devices. So both external and internal interrupts are initiated by computer hardware, whereas software has also generates a few interrupts. Okay, and what are the software interrupts? So it is nothing but one of the instruction which is nothing but supervisor call. Supervisor call is nothing but switching from a user mode to supervisor mode and allows to execute some certain operations which are not allowed in the user mode. Okay. So try to remember supervisor call. Supervisor call is nothing but some special instructions will execute, and those instructions you can't execute in user mode. Okay. Then the interrupt procedure you already know. What is the interrupt procedure? The interrupt is usually initiated by the internal or external interrupts, uh, external signal rather than the execution of an instruction. Okay. And the address of the interrupt service program routine is determined by the hardware rather than address field of the an instruction. And interrupt procedure usually stores the information necessary to define the state of the CPU rather than storing only the PC. Okay. So while we are going for interrupt, whatever register values, all those we will store in the, all those things we will store in the memory. Okay. Then we will go to the program 2 where we will execute the program 2. And the state of the CPU will be determined content of the PC, content of all processor register, and content of status bits. Okay, many ways CPU state depends on the CPU architecture. Is all of you okay? What I said? Are you understand what I said? If you have any doubt, you can ask. Okay. Then in third chapter, first part, last one more topic is there. That is the risk. Risk is nothing but simple reduced instruction set computer. That means in these computers only we have few number of instructions. Okay, less number of instructions. And whereas in CISC you have the more number of instructions. Okay. This is also one slide only. So we will see next class. సో దీనిలో ఏమైనా చేంజ్ ఉంటే ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ చెప్పండి అమ్మా. So when you are going for interrupts, not only PC, the entire status of the CPU you have to store. Okay. What is the entire status of the CPU? Content of the PC, content of in processor registers and status bits, all you have to store. Okay. And the saving of the CPU state will be different different for different CPU architectures. If you have any doubt, you can ask. చెప్పండి అమ్మా ఎవరికైనా డౌట్ ఉంటే anyone have any doubt, you can ask. Is anyone have any doubt? If you have any doubt, you ask. So for your exam, the syllabus is Unit 2, second part, that is micro programming. Then third unit, first part. Is there any class in the next class? Is there any class for next hour? Free time only?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. And go through the content, and if you have any doubt, you can ask, okay? And for your exam portion, the portion is Unit 2 second part, Unit 3 first part. Okay, Amma, I'm closing the session. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the next class. Okay? Attend for the next class.